Hey, tonight we are taking you through a hidden path of acreage in southern Allen County, meant to take you back in time.
Their mission: to see what Indiana looked like before the first settlers even stepped foot here.
This was tribal reserve land. We have about 90 acres that are fenced. About 50 of it is open grassland, and the balance is woodland. So we've, been stewards of the land for almost, 25 years now.
John Brooks has spent decades acquiring acres of land alongside Little River and Aboit Road.
We put a conservation easement on a large part of about 140 acres of it almost 15 years ago. And we did that to prevent further development of the natural areas on the property.
LC Nature Park opened to the public mid-2021. Brooks began building a place to restore what 21 Country once was before the settlers came.
My wife and I originally named the farm the Lone Coyote Farm, and she passed away almost 4.5 years ago. After that, my kids and I were trying to figure out a way to honor her. We interviewed a lot of her friends and more of the family and said, okay, what do you remember about her, and what was it that really, impressed you as being her passions? And the things that came out were science, nature, kids, fun, camaraderie, all those things that a park like this can help provide.
Bison and elk live side by side here, grazing on what remains of the summer grasslands.
I've learned so much about animal behavior by just watching them. Both species are extremely curious animals. And I could put a game camera up on a tree trunk out there, they won't see me do it, and by the next morning I'll have a picture of a nose, because one of the animals will come over and check it out.
The park's director, George Manning, has been working for years to make the land sustainable for the herds of such large animals.
Right now, this time of year, we'll start putting out hay for them to eat, and that will continue all winter until the grassland area is green back up again in the springtime. And that's really sort of the extent of our involvement in their lives. We really do try to let them just be elk and be bison and do what they do.
The plan for most of the 200 acres, creating an environment for other animals to move in.
We have these real three ecotypes here in the park. We have a grassland, specifically tall grass prairie. We have some wetland areas and a lot of woodland, some deciduous hardwood forest here. Just trying to get those back to what we think, northeastern Indiana could have looked like pre-European arrival to this area.
But when it comes to conservation efforts, there's always more work ahead.
It's really mostly non-native species management, so keeping bush honeysuckle, garlic mustard's a big one. So keeping those species out in an effort to just let the native plants that are already there flourish. There's a lot of grassland restoration that's going on here, so basically taking what was at one time traditional row crop agriculture, corn and soybeans, and transitioning that back to tall grass prairie. We want to get to a place where they are self-sustaining.
There's a real beauty to Indiana when you get to see the natural part of it.
Love those bison.
So cool.
Such a cool place. The LC in LC Nature Park now stands for Loving Carroll. Staff at the park have developed educational programs they hope will draw schools in from across the region to learn more about Indiana's history. Now, the hikes are year-round, but they need to be scheduled ahead of time. They're guided by park experts. And we put all of that information on our website, WPTA21.com.